Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at energy fuels. It is time for another update, and on this chart we are looking at the initial 1-2 setup that has formed from the all-time lows. And at this point we are looking, since this is most likely complete, we are looking to develop the third wave to the upside. Now we need to be aware that an ideal target for such a wave 3 is the 138.2% extension of the wave 1, and in this case it is roughly around the $130 level. Now with this structure development that we have so far, it is likely that we will not get to it in a direct fashion. So if it really manages to create a larger third wave to the upside, this would likely end up being a wave 1 to the upside, since within this structure we have so far a 1, 2 and third wave possibly complete, and we would be looking for a fourth and the fifth, but normally the wave 3 is actually the most impulsive, and in that case I would expect in this wave 5 to probably get to around the 100% extension of the wave 1. Now the issue with this interpretation and with this really happening is that this pattern could still end up being an ABC movement to the upside, especially since the ideal target for a wave C is the 100% extension of the wave A. And normally in an internal 1-2 setup, so after something like a 1-2 in this area, I would probably be looking for a target for wave 1 around the 61.8% extension, not something like the 100% extension. That would actually be a pretty great warning sign that this is very likely turning into a wave C instead of a third wave that would be forming in this area. But regardless, even if it does happen to be the case, we are still looking in either case, in either scenario, we are still looking to form at least one more high in a fifth wave in this area, because the wave C does have a 5-wave structure. Now, based on the internals of this movement to the upside, we do have some options on how to track this development, but for now, I believe it is still best to track it as a possible impulse developing, where we have here a 1-2 complete, where this could be a third wave also possibly complete, and then a fourth would be on the way in this case, where we have a support zone between the $17.6 level all the way down to the $10.7 level, and afterwards we would expect to form a new all-time high in a fifth wave to complete this pattern. And it is possible for us to still extend within this wave 5. It is already quite extended, okay? For a wave 5, this is actually extremely long, especially in comparison with this wave 3. So which is the main reason why I am open to this developing really as a diagonal structure to the upside, but at this point it doesn't really matter. We can focus strictly on this area, the developments here, if it manages to still push higher in a direct fashion, or the support zone area that we are tracking anyway. And in the previous videos I have been providing some ideas of how this could develop to the upside, or in either scenario really, and there still is the possibility technically for a more impulsive lookout on this, but these are the most likely patterns in my opinion, where in the blue scenario we are tracking 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th complete within this larger wave 3. So this pattern would be looking for the correction now in a wave 4. And then in the white scenario we are looking here at a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down. This would be the third wave up. We would now be in the fourth wave correction, where we have the white support zone for such correction, and then we would expect still another high before considering this larger pattern in the wave 3 in green complete. And internally within this correction, we have an expectation to form something like an ABC structure to complete it, and so far I don't necessarily see such a structure complete, where in fact I may even argue that this is a 5-wave move that has formed to the downside. And if we check if we reach the ideal target for a wave 3, we got to the 161.8% extension. We surpassed the ideal target for a wave 3, not uncommon at all. But then we could also check if we held resistance for a wave 4 correction in a diagonal structure such as this seems to be, and in this case we would need to allow the correction to go into resistance all the way up to the 61.8% retracement, and in this case we got to it, but yeah, it got rejected then and we formed a new low. And yeah, I may be able to consider that this is actually an initial wave A correction. We could be looking now for a wave B and still another low before we have a more clear path for this completion here in a wave 4 in white, or who knows, maybe even a wave 4 correction in green. Keep in mind the support zones do ever so slightly overlap in this area. And yeah, if we get into the green support zone, it may be difficult to tell which scenario we are really following. Yeah, after we go to something like the $17 level, yeah, then we push higher, it might be difficult to tell if we really are following in the white interpretation or the green interpretation. But for now, yeah, we didn't reach it, and the white scenario does still have a chance, but I would be extremely cautious of the resistance for something like an ABC pattern that could be developing in this area. And in this case, we will track it as the yellow scenario, where this would be an A wave down. We would be looking now for a correction in a wave B, and then a C wave that could still take us to new local lows. And yeah, we have the white interpretation where, or this wave 4 in white, where we can leave it for now at the current bottom, where yeah, of course it can break out directly. It's not impossible, but at the moment I find it rather likely that we form something like an ABC, as we have here in yellow, and for that I would be watching out for resistance in the area between the $21.7 level all the way up to the $25.2 level. Now, if we manage to break above the 78.6% retracement in a sustained break, yeah, it is a good indication that we may have bottomed. Additionally, if we manage to form an initial 5-wave structure to the upside, we hold the support here in something like a wave 3. Honestly, it is a bit unfortunate that this is an ABC structure that we would be expecting in a 5th wave to the upside. And in that case, even if we form a 5-wave structure, yeah, the wave B could still develop as a triangle, so it may not be necessarily the most clear correction. But yeah, either if we break above the 78.6% retracement could be a first indication, but another first indication could be an initial 5-wave structure to the upside that we have bottomed already, and that we may be looking for a new high, yeah, a new all-time high. Well, not all-time high, but local high. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.